Hi guys, and welcome to another review video. This time we're not going to be doing a rifle, but we're going to be doing a chronograph, and this is on the XCortech 3200, and this is for the 3200, this review. The XCortech do other ones, but they're not really going to be much use to you, as I'll explain in a minute. So as we all know, we can get different types of chrono out there. Yeah, classic V-shaped one, which F1, put a picture up. You get the combo 625, which you can attach to the end of your rifle barrel, which I'll put a picture up there as well. If you're looking for something different, or you can't afford one of those, or the combo won't fit on your rifle very well, then the XCortech could very well be the rifle for you. And why have you never heard of these before? Some of you may not have. It's because it's not actually an air rifle chronograph. It is designed for BB and airsoft and paintballing. But the nice thing about it is it measures, this version, the 3200, will measure up to 1200 feet per second, which is perfect for us because we know 177s are going to be around the 700 to 800, and the 22s are going to be around the 500 to 600 feet per second for sub 12 foot-pound in the UK. So if you're in the US and you're thinking about one of these, just have a look to see what your feet per second. If it's under 1200, then you should be okay with one of these. So one other thing to watch out for these as well is there are a lot of fakes. So if you do get one, and get it from a reputable eBay place or from a reputable shop, that you can use your distance selling, and if it turns out to be a fake, you can ask for your money back and you'll be all good and go. So you can't actually buy these anymore. This particular model, because of it stopped production in 2014, so take a look and have a look and see if there's any old stock around. Just a word of warning, they do have different firmwares on them, so make sure you get the latest firmware. If you don't, you won't get memory shot, which I haven't got on this one. This is an older firmware and the firmware can't be updated. So let's move down onto the table. Let's open this bad boy up and go a little bit deeper into it. Okay, so let's open it up this way so you can see. So you can see that there's the box there. Nice picture of it, and we talked about the actual the authenticity sticker on here. What we'll do is we'll just open this up and have a look. So a little bit of an unboxing, and the first thing you'll find is the actual unit itself. Comes very well wrapped, nice good thick bubble wrap on there, and there's the unit itself, and we can see that. So we've just got a simple screen, 3 simple buttons, and the way that this works is basically you fire your shot through here, it comes out the other end, and there's 2 sensors that measure the distance and of course the speed, the time it took for that pellet to go through there, and gives you an output in either meters per second or feet per second. What else comes in it? What we have here is a metal, so this is metal, and this screws onto the front of the unit like so. And this is supposed to be for muzzle flash, but I also use it, because of this whole thing's plastic. I'm a little bit scared of pellets destroying this if you don't line it up properly, so I actually use that to make sure that I'm putting the centre of the rifle barrel just at the opening there to make sure I've got myself all lined up. So, well, anyway, we'll go about setting this all up and how to use it all on there. So that comes on like so. I do recommend that you use that. What else comes in the box? You get an instruction manual, which is absolute garbage, unless you can read Chinese. I'm assuming that's what that's written in. So I will leave a link down in the bottom of the description, but I found an English version of it, and it is still garbage. It doesn't really tell you much. It tells you how to use the menu systems, but that is about it on that. So let's just pop them to one side. Like I said, I'll leave a link for that down below so that you can actually see those instructions. Okay, so here's the unit itself. So what we've got there is just a straight through hole where your pellet goes through. We've got a menu system here, some buttons. It's all made of plastic. It's totally plastic, so you do not want to be hitting this with a pellet because it will go straight through and it will completely crack and break it completely on there. If we go to the underside, this is where the power supply comes from, and the batteries it takes is 4 AAA batteries in there. So just your standard 4 AAAs, I just use rechargeables, saves me a fortune. They fit in there and close the unit up. And the really nice thing about this is it has a tripod mount adapter. So this thing is designed to be, you're supposed to lie it flat. So let's turn this right way around for you. You're supposed to lie it flat like so. You're then supposed to line your rifle up, shoot through there and read it, and it's supposed to be horizontal and level to do that. Now you can rest out on the table to do it, but ideally it'd be best if you put it on a tripod. So if you're going to put it on a tripod, you'll need a tripod adapter. So if you've got a tripod and you brought one, the chances are you've got a tripod adapter for it. And we're just going to connect that up like so. There we go. And she's good to go. We'll then screw the front on. There you go. Setup is pretty quick and simple. And then just press the power button and we can see that we've got the power. So it's an orange backlit on there. And what I'm going to do now is we'll sort of bring you a little bit closer in. We'll set another camera up and we'll try and talk you through the menu systems on here. Okay, so as you can see, I've actually got this mounted up on a separate tripod. So we can see that set there with the tripod system set up. It's easy as that. You can use any tripod you want. It's a standard tripod mount on it. I just happen to use quite an expensive camera tripod because that's the spare one I've got. Okay, so here we have the unit itself, and we have three buttons. We have the power button, the up menu and the down menu button, and that's it. It's as simple as that. What we're going to do is we're just going to click the power button on, and we'll see you've got the logo, the XCortech X3200 up there, and I'm just going to up menu. So the topmost menu, so to get up to the topmost menu you press up. If you press down it takes you down to the next option. You press down again, it takes you into the menu system. We'll see that's saying auto power off. If we press down, we just cycle all the way down the menu systems and you can't go any further. You cycle up, it then takes you through the system. We're back to where we began. So that's how the menu systems work, simple as that. So this unit is a metric based unit. It's designed for airsoft BB guns. So they operate in joules as an energy, as we work in foot-pound. So you do have to do some manual conversion with this. This unit will not tell you your foot-pound of your rifle instantly. It also, because it's designed for BB guns and airsoft, it'll actually give you a rate of fire per minute as well, which is going to be pretty much no use to us in air rifling unless you've got a semi-automatic. But more importantly, it's going to tell us feet per second, how fast our pellet's moving. If we move down to the next menu system, it's pretty much the same, but up the top we have joules written up here, and it'll calculate the actual joules, not, like I said, foot-pound, but joules on here. It gives us our pellet caliber and our pellet weight, which I'll take you through in a minute, and then again underneath we got rounds per minute and feet per second there. So that can be useful. You'll pretty much, once you've worked out the calculations, know that, for example, 11 foot-pounds is about 15 joules. 11.8 foot-pounds is 16 joules. So that's if you know those two numbers in your head, you know how close you are to the UK limits on there. So this is how the menu system works. Now if we move down, what we've now got is the actual menu, the setup side of it. So we have an auto brightness, the auto power on and off. So I think I've got it set to on, auto power on, auto power off, and nothing happens. We have a one in here called set memory. Now the set memory, the difference between this version and the version that actually records all of your shots is that you'll have an extra menu system in here that says shot memory if it has the later firmware version, which I think will give you up to 6 or 20 or so, I can't remember the exact number of the last shots it did, so you can recall those shots on there. The older firmware version that I've got here doesn't have that feature, unfortunately, and there is no way to flash this unit. But there we got the set memory, we have backlight unit, and reset the X3200, which resets the whole unit. So what I'm going to do is we're not going to bother with the auto power on and off. I'm sure you can work out what that does. We're going to go into the set memory, and what we do is we just press the power button, that's the enter button, and we're just going to scroll up to the top. Now in here is 6 bullet profiles that you can put in, and like I said, this unit works in the metric scale. So what we have is the first column is your weight and the second column is your caliber, your weight in grams, your caliber in millimeters. So I know a 16 grain shot is 1.03 something something, so it's 1.04 grams per 2.2 pellet, and the caliber is 5.5 millimeters. Now the caliber you'll find 9 times out of 10 written on your actual on your tin, but it's quite easy. 0.22 of an inch, which is the caliber of a 2.2, is 5.5 millimeters, and your weight for 16 grain is 1.04. I will leave some links. In fact, what I'll do is I'll edit into the video as well to show you. It's very simple. Okay, so I just want to show you some real basic conversions. Google is your friend as always. So if we want, for example, inches to millimeters, type it in. Google pops this up beautifully for us. 0.177 pellet is 4.49 or 4.5 millimeters. 0.22 is 5.5 or 5.8, 5.6. We can also do the same as well for grain to grams. So 1 grain is that, 16 grains is 1.03. So that's real quick conversions. Obviously the unit itself will push out in joules, so we can do joules to foot pound. So for example, if it was reading 15.6, it will tell us that it's 11.5 foot pounds. Really simple. And I've also got another useful link, which I will put this one into the video description as well. So if you don't want to do it that way, this is on Pyramid Air Gunmail website. I have no affiliation to this. There's plenty of other websites out there. Gives you a full description on how to work it out. But dead simple. You can put pellet weight in, 16 grain. What was the velocity? 575 is 11.37 or 15.42 joules. So that's just a quick snippet to show you how you can do it quickly through a computer and Google. So how do you set these up? Well, quite simple. You should go to your profile that you want. So I want profile number 1. You hit the enter button, and then you can cycle up and down. Hit the enter button, you can cycle up and down. And when you hit the enter button again, then it's done. So that's and these are for my Diablo Field Sport 2.2 domes that I use. So you can see profile number 1. 1.04 grams, 5.5 millimeters. And it's simple as that. And you can have up to 6 of these in here, so these can all be programmed in. And I haven't done any of those. There's a set of defaults in there, but they won't probably mean anything to you. And then when you come down, just scroll right down to the bottom, hit exit, and you're done. It's as simple as that. So we'll just go through the next units. We've got backlight, where we can change the backlight on and off, and unit. If we go into unit, hit the power button, and that takes us in, and then we can select, and there's a little arrow, so I don't know if you can make that out, but what we got up here is RPM, MPS, rate per minute, meters per second. Then we got RPM, rate per minute, FPS, feet per second. We got RPS, rate per second, meters per second, and RPS, FPS, rate per second, feet per second. So obviously, like we said, this will actually calculate how many shots are fired per minute or per second. I'm not really interested in that, so I've just gone rate per minute, feet per second, because I'm interested in the feet per second output of this, not meters per second. And that's how you set it up. Make sure that your little arrow is highlighted, and when we've done that, we hit exit. And that is pretty much it. If we just scroll all the way back up to the top, that's the menu system. It is as simple as that. Alright guys, so we've taken it outside. As you can see here, we've got the chronograph set up on a tripod, and I've got a makeshift backstop there, because obviously you're shooting through this at the horizontal, and that pellet's going to keep travelling, so make sure you've got a good backstop set up. And because I've got this thing so close, I'm also going to stick some goggles on while I'm doing this, just to stop any wood chips or any ricochets that might come back. That wood's actually quite wet, so we should be okay. So what we're going to try and do is set the camera up and let you see. We're going to use the Caliber Cricket, which is a regulated air rifle, and we'll see what we're getting out of there. And we should be getting around the 570 feet per second of this, because it's UK spec. Okay, so we're going to stick some shots through from the Caliber Cricket. Now I found the best way to do this is to actually put the barrel and rest it right up against the hole, and use the metal as a guide. And we've got 582.6. Now this doesn't have shot memory, my model, so I'll be writing these down, but I'll refer back to the video. Put shot on, fire, 579. 578. And we've got 567, and that's telling me that's 15.52 joules. And that's not precise because of it doesn't go to as many decimal digits in the settings, but we'll work it out properly later. That's a wild one, 598. Right, if you get a T out, it's because of the barrel's not lined up perfectly well with the actual the sensor itself, so just readjust. It stands for timeout, it means the pellet hasn't passed through both sensors for some reason. .558. .548. Now is my rifle running low? I don't know. Hi and welcome back to the warmth. So what do we think of the XCortech 3200? It's a mixed bag, it's a mixed bag. So let's do the bad news with it first, the bad news. So I've got some notes down here. Right, the setup of it. You need to make sure you've got a proper backstop, as with any chronographing. So let me give you an example. If you use the F1, the V-shaped one, you put it on your desk, on your table, you shoot through it while aiming, you've got a nice big area to shoot through, and your pellet's safe because you're hitting your target. The Combros 625 you put on the end of your rifle, you aim at your target, the pellet goes where you're aiming. Both of them are easy. This, not so. This has to be level. Now I have tested it like so and it seems to work, but generally it's accepted that you should be using it like so, so it's horizontally level. Which means then you have to fire through here, which means your pellet's going to come out this side. You do not want this miles away from your butt of your rifle, from the barrel of your rifle. Otherwise you're having to aim through here, hoping it goes in a straight line and exit out the other side to hit your target. And setting that all up and getting it all lined up is going to be an absolute nightmare. And the chances are it's going to end in tears and you're going to smash this to pieces with a 2-2 pellet. The way it's supposed to work is that you're supposed to put your rifle and rest it inside so, and fire. Which means you've got to make sure that this is somewhere safe for the pellet to exit. Either a good solid backstop or a jammy dodged rig that I set up with a big piece of wood on a wheelie bin. So that is a major downside with it. Now, plus side to go with it is it does give you tripod attachment. And like I said, I have tried it at 45 degrees and shooting into the ground, and it seems to work, but not as consistent as when it's like so. So that's definitely a bad point about this. Next one, it's made of plastic. I'm just scared of hitting this with a pellet. Now obviously you're not supposed to be shooting from a distance through it, you're supposed to be putting your barrel in here, but it still just leaves me on nerves whenever I'm trying to shoot with this. So yeah. It's plastic, that's what it is at the end of the day. Okay, also with this, I'm just checking my notes down there, is it's very temperamental. Sometimes I get 5 or 6 shots in the 570s and then suddenly I'll get a 590, 600 or a 540. So it does seem to actually struggle to consistently give you consistent readings. And I'm using a regulated rifle that was fully charged up, so I should be getting consistent settings there. So when I use this, I basically take the high numbers and the low numbers, the obvious misreadings, and then I average all of the middle readings to give me my average on there. It's metric as well, and not in foot-pounds, so it reads out in joules. At the end of the day, it wasn't designed for us air rifle people, it was designed for BB, airsoft and paintballing, hence the reason why it does rounds per minute on there. But it's an easy conversion for us to do. It does read out in feet per second, which is perfect. We just jot those numbers down, work it out. Or if you know that 15 to 16 joules is the 11 foot-pound range, and it's a quick, easy check to see on that. So those are what we got there. Okay, let's go to the plus points about it. It's not all doom and gloom. We said the tripod on here, the tripod mount, that makes it setting it up, and those problems that we had makes it a bit easier. Of course, it's cheap. So it's an alternative to one of the cheaper types of chronos like the combo that's out there. So if you have a rifle that won't happily accept a chrono, a combo 625 chrono because of you've got the pressurized cylinder underneath your barrel, and it might be a bit difficult to set it all up. This is an alternative way to do it. The profiles, it stores your profiles for your pellets in here. That's a really nice feature. And another nice feature is it does do rounds per minute. So if you do have a semi-automatic, yeah, it could do that for you as well. And of course, if you're into your BB and your airsoft, then you've got a unit that will actually do both for you. Mind you, of course, the other chronos could do that for you as well. So it really does come down to price and the fact that it's an alternative out there that can be had fairly cheap from eBay. I've seen these for £45 to £55 on eBay second hand, and brand new. If you can pick one of these model ones up, you're going to be getting them around the £60 to £65 mark. So what's my overall recommendations? I'd still say go and buy an F1 if you can afford to get an F1. It's worth the extra money, the ease. They do have their problems. Some of them you need the right light. If you haven't got the right light conditions, then they don't read properly. But they're just so much easier. That's why you see everybody on YouTube using them, and I'm going to be saving up to get one as well. If you can't afford the F1, then go for the combo 625 that attaches onto the end of your barrel. It's just so much easier, it's so much simpler to make sure that your shot is safe and it's going somewhere safe when you do your readings. The downside, of course, is that you've got to look at the barrel each time to see your readings on there. But if you can't get one of those, or you just fancy an alternative, then yes, it's not too bad, and it is a dual purpose at the end of the day. It will work for your BBs, it will work for everything else, your pistols, and it will also work for your air rifles as well. Just make sure you get the 3200 that reads up to 1200 feet per second. So, hopefully you liked that review. As usual, all of my reviews are totally unsponsored and unbiased. I've got no skin in the game, I'll tell you as it is. So a lot of people seem to like that, and thank you so much for the really kind comments with regards to that. And with that in mind, please share these videos out, please share out the channel out to other people, because of this channel works on you watching and you watching those adverts. I'm sorry, that's how it works, that's how I can afford to do this, because I don't take money from anywhere else. But as usual, please hit the thumbs up, or if you don't like it, hit the thumbs down. That is totally up to you, and don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you very much, bye bye.